Ray Smith, nice to speak to you for the first time in a little while, Ray. I know you're out on the road at the moment, but there's a busy weekend of darts, and you're always a really busy man. But great to see you're going to be back and joining us at Lakeside in just a few months' time.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Supposed to have happened 2 years ago, but okay, sorry, things happen. But no, definitely looking forward to be back.
Yeah, and a really positive weekend for you, performances wise, results wise. Were you happy with the games you played over the weekend, and obviously the results of getting back to Lakeside?
Yeah, it's lacking a bit of match fitness, so I was looking for that. I was also trying to test my body and see what make sure that everything's working, and it is. So yeah, I'm really excited. So definitely relieved.
Yeah, you say relieved there. Was Lakeside something that was a little bit of a goal in the back of your mind to get back to playing on a World Championship stage?
Yeah, absolutely. I probably could have qualified last year if I played the last tournament here in Australia, but logistics didn't work. And yeah, sitting there through the whole of last year's championship, it was very hard to sit and watch when I wanted to get up and play. So um, yeah, I had planned this year that this is what I was going to do. I've mapped out my whole year traveling and what have you. But yeah, I've got the qualification under my belt now. I can focus on that.
Do those plans change at all now because you've already got that qualification under your belt, and maybe you don't need to go quite chasing the points as you maybe planned out?
Yeah. So I'm probably going to drop all the bronze events now and just look on the silvers and what have you. Just look for more of the match fitness side of things and the trying to get that edge sharp again.
Yeah. As you sort of briefly mentioned a couple of years ago, you could have been on that World Championship stage just for sort of a couple of things that maybe got in the way. How tough was that to take? I guess that the opportunity was there, but it was sort of there were a few things that didn't quite line up.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. I can't express how frustrating the last several years have been. I've been in battles with my health for a while. But yeah, fortunately, well, thankfully, we've finally um, put a full stop to that now. Everything's in place. It's working. So yeah, hopefully, I don't have to relive that frustration because it was in like yeah, there was a few times I wanted to quit or throw the toys out of the cot, but we're over that hurdle now.
Yeah, and you've come through that, and you're still a very strong player. I'm sure stronger mentally for the battles that you've come through. It must give you sort of a huge sense of pride that you are able to come through those things and still be throwing the darts and playing the way you are.
Yeah, absolutely. There were stages there where I thought, hey, maybe I'm getting a little bit too old now to be challenging for this stuff, and then you look at the Peter Wrights of the world who just get better with age, and it's like it's not over, it's not over. But yeah, there were times there it was a bit difficult where I think that maybe I can't. Um, but yeah, I'm so glad to be back and as I said, playing some decent darts as well.
Yeah. Do you think the sort of I guess the parameters are shifting slightly in darts? You say there, mate, you thought maybe at one point you were sort of too old to be getting to these levels. I mean, but darts is in a strange spot at the moment with Luke Littler over here, 18-year-old world champion. You've got a lot of younger players that are throwing some absolutely amazing darts, but you've got a lot of players maybe in their 40s and 50s that are still throwing at a really high level. How do you sort of view the landscape at the moment?
Yeah, it's definitely shifting. You can see that the knowledge sharing that goes on in the darting community now is starting to reap the benefits. Like yeah, the players at 18, 19 are already at that level that it took me 30 plus years to get that opportunity. So, but at the same time, probably like people in my age bracket anyway. We're probably a lot more motivated now. That realise that if we put in the work and we have that level of enthusiasm, it's still there for us.
Yeah. You talked a little bit earlier about being at Lakeside late last year with your son Kai. Um, what is the experience like being in a darts venue for 9, 10 days and not being able to throw a competitive dart?
Yeah, yeah, I got to admit, I was chomping at the bit. I couldn't wait to get in. Um, so yeah, I told myself like I spent the whole 10 days that I was there telling myself I'm not going to practice. I'm not going to practice. I'm just going to sit here and effectively punish myself for not playing that qualifier. But yeah, look, it was really good. It was a lot of fun. The commentary side of things um, wasn't what I thought it would be, but it was really really good. I had a lot of opportunities to look at the game and everything in a lot more detail. So I think it's going to hold me in good stead for this year.
Yeah. Are you someone that can step into those sort of opportunities and look at the game from a different angle and maybe take things forward into your own game from those things you see?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing that us older people have to do. We have to start adapting and looking at the way these young fellas are going about it. Because I'm probably one of the more flexible and adaptable type of players because I'm always looking for the challenge my knowledge and the way I play the game. But yeah, some of my colleagues here in Australia are very rigid with their thinking process. So sitting back and being able to analyze the game and either validate or challenge my current thinking has been it was very positive for me.
Yeah. In terms of watching Kai up on that stage, and you've obviously had that experience at Ali Pali before, how do the emotions compare watching your son to what it's like actually being up on that stage and dealing with your own game?
Yeah, look, I not one for getting nervous, but yeah, watching Kai play, I could stop shaking. I was, uh, yeah, the butterflies in the stomach just didn't stop the whole way through, and yeah, it's funny playing myself and in some of those bigger games that I've been fortunate enough to play in my career. I was fine with it, but watching Kai play, no, I was hopeless.
Um, Obviously, we've mentioned you're back at Lakeside for 2025. Do you sort of believe that the best days and those best performances are still very much within you, and you've got another big tournament win around the corner in this sort of next stage of your career?
Yeah, I think so. I do. Like when I sit back and like do my own feedback, I suppose, from the Lakeside experience and what have you. It's just, I ask myself the questions and it's like, well, I asked the same questions with Modus. I asked the same questions on the PDC side and I've responded quite well to it. So if I give myself that opportunity and stop thinking about the outcome and just get into the game, yeah, I can. There's still a lot more there. I don't think I've scratched my A game yet. Um, but yeah, I'm seem to be pretty content with pigeonholing myself at the moment. So I'm breaking down those barriers as part of the learnings from last year's Lakeside.
Yeah. How much time do you actually get to dedicate to darts? Because obviously you're a busy man with your work life and your family life as well.
Yeah, I'm forcing an hour a day at the moment. So I'm if worst comes to worst and I'm time poor, I just get through my normal three routines, which is games I play, golf and a pegging game, and then my 20 20 20. But I'm trying to push for at least an hour a day at the moment. Um, I'm doing it most days. It's definitely reaped the benefit of it. If on the weekend I was pegging really well, so I'm trying to do that every day. But of course, here today, for argument's sake, in the next 2 days, I'm stuck in a hotel room and I didn't bring my board with me, so it So yeah, I'll go home and I'll try and catch up that time. But yeah, very time poor. But I'm forcing it. I'm trying to make an effort.
Good man. We know you've been obviously a big advocate of mental health, not just in darts but in life. There's a lot of players that are sort of struggling at the moment, I guess, physically and with time and the amount of events around the world. Was there any sort of advice that you can give to the people back home over here on the PDC tour when they're sort of playing 6, 7 days a week, they're traveling all the time? Is there anything maybe that you would say to try and change routine and yeah, I guess make that change?
Yeah, I think for me it would be about just remembering why you play. Um, like I don't know, I sort of had a love-hate relationship with darts for a long time, and and when my dad passed last year, we sat there and I was like, do I really want to keep playing? And I'm like, yeah, I enjoy playing. I really, really enjoy playing. So all of these, forcing yourself to go to events, turning up to a tournament, I really don't want to be here. You know, when I sat back and thought about it, it's like, what am I playing for? And so I play because I just really love playing. I enjoyed it. It's something that my dad and I always did. So, and somewhere along the lines, I lost sight of that. So, what am I playing for? And then the next part would be plan. Like, if you're getting your life, work, and darts out of balance, then it's not going to work. You're not. I mean, yeah, like you watch young Callan Rids and the troubles that he had. It just seemed like everything was darts, 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 and then he wasn't. He's still a young lad. He's got so much ahead of him in life. It's
Mm.
if you don't balance, say balance yourself, plan your events, and if you decide you want to go and spend a day with your family, do it. Because it's gonna stop you from burning out.
Yeah. Sort of back home, we often talk about Luke Littler's obviously now 18, and the challenge that's going to bring for him. His life has been darts since he was 8, 9 years old, but there's different things that maybe now come with being 18. How much do you think life is gonna change for him over the next 6 months or so?
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the dynamic, isn't it? Where a lot of the players on tour at the moment is, they're effectively singing for this upper, whereas, Luke's probably not in that position yet. But I mean, if you were, that's where that next level pressure comes in. That's where you start to learn fear. Um, it's something I hope that nothing changes in his dynamic too much, and he can just see he just loves playing. He really loves it. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't change, and it comes to I have to play, I have to win. This is how I'm supporting myself now. So
Yeah. Just something I want to sort of close off with is we've seen Brandon Weening come over and play the Modus fairly recently. Obviously got Damon on the tour. Simon Whitlock's sort of hung up his darts in terms of the PDC Pro Tour at least. What is the next step now for you guys over in Australia and New Zealand as well to make sure there is that next generation that are competing sort of, I guess, at the sharp end?
um, yeah, it's the development system here in Australia is sadly lacking. There is nothing there. Uh, if I'm perfectly honest, there is no confidence that there will be another string of players coming through. I mean, we're down to players like Brandon, players like Kai. They're generational players now. We're not bringing in new numbers. The numbers aren't growing at the moment. We have seen a lot of positives. The Luke Littler effect with new clubs coming or new teams coming in, but no new talent, I suppose. And the talent development systems we got here just don't do anything. There's nothing of value on either side. Um, and unfortunately, like from my perspective, I'm hoping, well, I need to be able to play against some of the better players in Australia, but they're all walking away because there is no next step. We have the World Series, which is now one World Series down here. We have two people that go away to the Asia Pacific. Oh, sorry, the PDC Worlds. I know that they're trying to bring in some ADC ANZ Pro Series event down here to try and get our players stage experience. But unless they're being developed and having the opportunity to, to get at it, get at each other on a more regular basis, we're just going to go and put up the same numbers, the same thing. But I was really excited for Brendan. I think that was his coming of age at Modus, and those are the stuff that we need. Modus is going to be our only lifeline, in my opinion, in Australian darts.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I really appreciate the time, Ray, as always. You get a good night's rest, and we look forward to seeing you at Lakeside down the line in late November.
Can't wait. Thanks, mate.